What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-show for HorsePLAY Live. This is the UNCUT episode 76. I'm a very sweaty Yogi. Obi's here. We're gonna get started shortly. I'm testing out my internet connection because it's been derpy for the past few hours. Yeah. Comcast, best ISP ever. Not really. Not. Oh, it's actually complete opposite. Anyway, I won't go off on that rant. Tonight, we're gonna switch up gears again. There's been some people busting our chops, saying, "Oh yeah, they're a MOBA show." Like, no, we're not. We're not even just about video games. We're about geek culture as a whole, and we're also the official talk radio show, the interactive show for the Geeky Antics Network. So we're very much about cross promoting. Talking about the things that are going throughout the community on the Geeky Antics side, maybe on allgames.com. Maybe things that are other contributors, whether they're part-time, or they consider themselves part of Geeky Antics, or whatever they may consider themselves. They're part of the family, whether they're cousins or brothers and sisters. You're still family. Just some of you may not get dibs on the good food. That's the only difference.
Yeah, especially if I show up early.
Yes.
The good food will be gone.
But if we like you, we'll fix you up a plate and set it aside. That's how you know you're liked. When you're late to a party, and like all the food's gone because everybody just rampaged it, and then a plate of food was set aside for you. That's love right there.
You ain't lying, dude. There's lots of times where I've done that and we're like, man, we're late, or we had to go do something and we were showing up to the the potluck that we used to everybody bring their own dish kind of thing. And by the time I'd get there, everything would be gone. And of course, who's the one that's going to set food aside for you? Mommy and Daddy.
Aw. See, there's nothing like that. Even really close friends don't always do that.
I mean, like, they know what I like. Like, they know to get me a good helping of collard greens. They know to get me a good helping of, like, corned beef and cabbage, or, a good helping from what's there. They know what to get me anyway.
Corned beef and cabbage. That's an Irish plate right there.
Fucking Morgana's making it right today. She made it tonight or something like that. I was so mad.
I'm gonna type to her in the chat so she knows what's going on, because
she was supposed to actually send me some, but the express mail did not come.
So yeah, for those that don't know, usually our tradition has always been to do a little pre-show, an extended cut over on my channel, twitch.tv/YogiZilla. But the main place where we all combine and form like Voltron is twitch.tv/Geeky Antics. And oh my god, I'm going to burp. Okay, I held it back.
Autobots assemble.
Yes. So it always comes back to food. We might have to start I know Andy has been pushing for us to do a cooking show. I don't know, Geek Kitchen? Nah, that's too generic. We'll figure something. But like, it'll be a cross between, I don't know.
Well, fuck it. Everything else is gang. Why don't you just make it the gang kitchen?
That might. Some people may not like that. They may not like pick up on that properly. You gotta be a little bit of keyword rich too. You gotta put some keywords in this people can identify with it automatically and stumble across your thing. But it'll be like epic mealtime, but less bro.
Geeky food show.
Less of a bro show. More
geeky food show.
Geeky food show. We can find something clever.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, Yogi, when I open the gaming house, that's going to be something else. I'm going to make my wife, maybe make her, maybe not. But I'm going to make my wife cook, and then I'm going to record it, and she's just going to explain everything she does when she cooks like this giant, meal or something. And we're just going to put it on YouTube.
Aw, shizzle.
On the gang YouTube at that. You ready?
Yes. It's time. You ready for the music? Ready,
Yep.
Obi? All right. Making sure your body's ready.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, ninjas, and robots. This is HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, May 28, 2015, and this episode 76, titled MOBA is just a 4-letter word. I said that wrong. Let me try again. MOBA is a 4-letter word. But before we get into all the fun tonight, because it's going to be fun, I guarantee, I'm joined by someone that everybody knows. He's a pioneer. One of the pioneers in this biz. Everybody's favorite filthy hardcore casual, the man himself, Yogi Zilla. What's up, big guy?
That's how drained I feel.
Yeah.
I can't even do the full hype. I'm like, oh, so hot.
I know, I am too. My air conditioning went out, and I'm just like going here, going, oh my god, dude, it's so hot. My dog's sitting there going, like, looks like she's smiling.
Yeah.
Because she has that big jaw.
Yep.
And so it's just really, we're both just sweating our asses off in here. So, but we're doing good.
It's so hot that you rarely ever see cats panting, and the cats are panting.
Yeah.
And when the cats pant, they don't have as much muscle control on their face. So when they pant, it looks really funny. I'm like, oh my god, what is that?
Yeah, they don't move their face at all. They just stick their tongue out.
Yeah, and their tongue like wobbles. It can be a little bit alarming if you're not ready for it. By the way, Kevin from the Worst Radio Show just popped in. And we appreciate that. Today's actually his 1-year anniversary with his, well, not 1 year. It's his anniversary. I think he's been with her 4 or 5 years. I could be wrong.
Don't get him in trouble.
Yeah. I'm just used to saying, and that's something he said, I'm just used to saying 1-year anniversary, even though it's kind of redundant. But no, it's his anniversary. He's far along into the relationship. He's already got a kid or... and all that stuff, and yeah. Anyway, before I get him in trouble through association.
Yeah, you just need to stop right now.
Oh, I was right. He said 4 years.
4 years. Yep. What's up, BFT? Welcome. BFT, you're late. First of all,
he's usually
BFT is supposed to be in
early.
here 15 minutes prior to the show, and you were not here. What's wrong with you, sir? Just kidding.
I guess he's the warm-up act in a concert.
How's everything been going this week? You have anything exciting that happened to you this week?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
I do.
I mean, actually, the main thing I've been excited about is just how much more people are finally starting to realize what's going on with the network. There's people that are on other networks that want to do cross-network stuff. There's people that want to guest blog on the site because they're like, wow, you guys get a lot of hits on Google. Like, wow, you guys are like popping up everywhere. Like, you're kind of a big deal. Like, we're not the Nerdist or Geek and Sundry, but we're growing. Like as far as visibility, we're there.
Watch out, Geek and Sundry, because we're coming. Watch out, dude, because we're coming.
Well, I'll always be a fan of what they do over there. We're not trying to really compete in their space. I think we have some really unique takes on stuff, some fresh perspectives, some niche topics. Like MOBAs.
Right.
I've been learning. Especially the past few weeks, we've been talking about MOBAs really heavily. It's been a little mini series, but a lot of people see it literally as a 4-letter word, and no one wants to touch MOBAs because of that. If you search on iTunes, Stitcher, whatever, Zune, TuneIn Radio, and you look up MOBA or League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm, not that much comes up. You would think a lot more would come up, but not that much comes up. People don't want to touch that because they're like,
well, there's set shows. For like League of Legends, there's a show that happens with Monte Cristo, and it's like it's something that they do as the casters of like the pro League of Legends scene. Mm-hmm. But there's, like you said, there's not many. I mean, you can come across and listen to I lost everything I had in my brain.
For podcasts, there isn't much. There's a lot of YouTube and Twitch stuff.
Well, there's like a lot of live shows. Like they don't really tend to like podcasting. They like doing the live, like, and they have like the video shows.
See, the thing, like, to me, I don't want to sound elitist, but if you have a live show and then you're not creating an audio feed for it, you're doing it wrong. It's such a good opportunity because.
Well, what can you tell somebody that all they do is cast games and they love what they do and they go around the world? I mean, you really can't tell them anything.
Well, yeah,
they already know what to do.
If they're
doing
know
everything already.
If they're doing gameplay, that's different. That's not very fun as an audio thing. It's more visual heavy. A lot of people can't do straight up conversation either.
But a lot of them do talk about the stats of the teams and. How is what's one of the big 80s or the big mids? How is Faker doing versus somebody in the United States or whatever? But anyway, we can get off that topic.
See, Kevin gets it. Live shows and podcasting should always hold hands and play nice. Now, one of the things I'm actually about to rally Microsoft. I still have a couple of contacts over there. And I'm gonna hopefully when I write this article, I get a bunch of people to leave comments on it, and it's my take on what IGN said should be the strategy for Microsoft to make Xbox One better. One of the things I would love to see is they're clearly trying to make it more of an entertainment system. And
I saw an Xbox in Best Buy for $300 today.
Ooh, that's a good deal. But
sorry,
we'd have lots of fun if you could go on there. And
I know. Continue with your
clips.
thought.
Well, what I would love to see, because don't get me wrong, video is beautiful, and now you got Vines, which are great for people with ADD. They can't pay attention to something longer than 5 seconds. But podcasts are always going to have a special place because you can listen to podcasts while you're playing the game. Like instead of you listen to the game soundtrack, listen to a podcast. You're jogging, listen to a podcast. You're about to take a nap and you want to rest. You want to rest your eyes. Close your eyes. Listen to a podcast. You're on the throne. Listen to a podcast. You can't do. There's a lot of things you can't really do with Twitch and YouTube. I mean, I guess you could take a shit and watch Twitch, but you know what I'm saying. But what I would like to.
Isn't that what you do?
Well, that's besides the point. But Microsoft has a lot of Microsoft fan casts, and they have the official stuff like Major Nelson, and then partners they have like IGN, Giant Bomb that have endorsed or sponsored content, which is clearly stated when they have that stuff. But if they could just make it so that podcasts are integrated into that ecosystem, just same way they promote Twitch and YouTube as apps on the Xbox One and the 360 too. If they do that with podcasts, podcasts will still be kind of a niche thing because it's much harder to do a podcast than all this other stuff. Because audio engineering is something that really baffles a lot of people. They could do video easier than audio. When it's purely audio, it's much trickier, and your audio quality has to be even better because that's all people have to go off of, right? And I watched some videos where the audio is so bad. It's like a video look up YouTube and look up how to get perfect sound on OBS. And these people are whisper quiet and distorted. And I'm like, oh my God, you're doing a tutorial on how to get great audio out of OBS and your audio is terrible. Listen to podcasts while you're commuting. It's great. It's a lifestyle thing, and if the consoles can help usher in, that not even usher in the podcast, but get people into the habit of working into their life. Because I cracked up. I had a bunch of people we've had a bunch of people hit up our website and email me and leave comments and all kinds of stuff like that. Tweet me. Tons of followers. It's been crazy. It's like a spike out of nowhere. Partly because of the Google searches and whatnot. But it's crazy. I had some friends that introduced their friends to our content, and like this one guy in particular, which I'll probably just say now, this is Salty Dog of the Week. He's like, oh, listen to 2 minutes of it, didn't like it. 2 minutes? It's like, yeah, you guys weren't really talking about anything. It's like, that's like every other show. People banter on everything. People banter on regular radio. They banter on Howard Stern. If you listen to just 2 minutes of anything, what you think that's enough for you to know what's happening, what that show's about? Like, 2 minutes was enough for me to know what's going on. Okay, so you can see the future.
Those are the kind of people that actually come in, and we might be in a lull, or we're getting ready to say something funnier than shit. And they, right before that's said, they leave and be like, well, it was kind of boring. But then, like, if they'd have stayed in an extra 2 minutes, literally, they'd laugh their asses off. Those are the people that, sorry to say it, those are the kind of people that got us banned. I mean, really. Anyway, let's get off that.
Yeah. No, but, you know, and part of it is because video has spoiled people, and, you know, all this short-form content has spoiled people, so everybody expects you to be wild at every second. Like, you have to be like, I'm shooting this guy, run away.
Yeah, there's only so many minutes that people can take me being a total douchebag. Other than that, I mean, I gotta be some kind of, you know, positive. I mean, if I'm negative Nancy and I'm yelling all the time, there's a lot of people that aren't gonna watch our show or listen to our show. It's just, I mean, they like me outbursting sometimes, but not all the time. You just gotta wait and listen. Spend more than 2 minutes in the show, and you'll see what I'm saying. But anyway, Yogi, I did have some cool stuff happen to me this week. I did. Wait, that's private. I can't talk about that. Just kidding. I did get some overlays made. You guys are gonna, for those that, you know, I was happy about that. I got like a couple different ones, and actually it was streamed, and, you know, I got to, you know, kind of say what I wanted, so it was really cool. Those were actually made by Morgana Freya, one of our listeners, viewers. Thank you, Morg. Love you. And we trolled her husband right before we got on the show tonight. Yeah, that was fun. He probably yelled at her, "Don't ever let him do that shit again to me. What are you on? Daddy, I love you." You know, he didn't like it. But tonight on the show, guys, we're both sweating our nuts off. Tonight on the show, do we have news? Maybe. Mm-hmm. We're preparing for the official HOTS launch. We're preparing for the official HOTS launch and retail offering. We will also talk about stuff that is not MOBA related. There may be non-gaming content, but for the most part, you know. And maybe we'll make it to the dust off this time too. Hashtag the dust off. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But if you guys are new to the show, welcome to our Cellar Party!
Woo! Ah, you thought I was going to say what it says there.
I thought I was supposed to make a funny noise. Or whatever.
Yeah, because you did that last time, and it threw me off. Like, what the hell is that? How do I follow that up?
HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play, and I'm just gonna say it: get in trouble. Yes. If we are not getting in trouble, we're probably sick, or there's a sub on the line. we are the official flagship talk radio show for the Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com. Our show covers all aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie games and indie and strategy games, technologies, and boy, do we rant. If we're not ranting in HorsePLAY Live, we're sick, or it's not HorsePLAY Live. There you go. Of course, we talk about social issues that geeks face every day in gaming, along with community events. Sometimes we even talk a little bit about tabletop gaming, too. We even get into it, like I think last week we actually played Tabletop Simulator, which was awesome afterwards. And if we're not talking about food, something's wrong, because we're always hungry. You know, yum, nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, we've also been known to get into the retro gaming, too.
Yes,
gotta give that love.
Yogi, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about the show tonight, sir?
The show tonight, or just in general? Because in general, I just want to remind people, especially if you're new to the show, We are live and uncut. We're mostly unscripted. Things will go off the rails quite often, but we usually bring it back. Try to bring you some quality. Now, I'll let you know. I listen and re-listen to the shows several times, and if they make me cringe, then I try to fix what's wrong with it. But if I can listen to it several times and I feel, like cringe about it, then I realize, all right, it's not so bad. So that's our show. It's not so bad. The end. No. We're late night, so crazy things may happen. We may say something offensive, but not just for the sake of being offensive or controversial. We do say that, keep an open mind. We're having fun. We want you to have fun too. And remember that this is horseplay. So, the name says it all. Horseplay. Shenanigans are abound. No bestiality. No furries. If you're looking for that, you're in the wrong place. This is a different kind of horseplay. Apparently someone ate all the dinner.
No. Sorry, BFT's like, tonight on the show, we're sweating our balls off. OB 2015. So, sorry. And yes, BFT, I made you hungry because you're always doing it to us. Hey guys, I'm gonna go to the burger place and get a bag full of burgers, okay? Hey, I'm back with my 12 burgers.
Sack of burgers. Every time he says that, I picture White Castle. Like, White Castle is so great when you're when you're drunk. Like a sack of burgers and fries, It's literally a sack, like greasy sack. Like,
Mm-hmm.
There's very few things that are as good as White Castle when you're drunk.
Or, yeah. Horseplay Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and simulcasted on YogiZilla. Horseplay Live replay is also available earlier on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on allgames.com. Yeah. So you guys go check that out. About 5 p.m., go click on allgames.com. Click the chat and hang out with us. But I think it's time, Yog.
It's time.
It's time. It's time for the obligatory news with YogiZilla.
Ding! Ding!
You did it
You get extra ding. So yeah, some news. We haven't been doing too much news the past couple of weeks, so we're gonna make it for lost time. We're gonna try to get through it relatively fast. So at the top of the news, we gotta keep talking about Heroes of the Storm because June 2nd, the big day, is coming next week. By the time you probably listen to this on the podcast feed, it'll probably be out. Well, no, I usually get them out on the weekend. So yeah, enjoy that semi-private, exclusive experience while you still can. Because they're running commercials for Heroes of the Storm. It's kind of a big deal. My mind was blown. I'm like, I alpha tested this game. Like, the kids are watching, the family's watching, and they're like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. I'm like, that's the game I alpha tested.
That's the game we've been telling you guys to play for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started. Like, can't prime away from Call of Duty.
Don't get me started, dude. No.
And then I got into a whole discussion about, I was like, oh, I alpha tested it. What isn't it like, oh, so you beta tested it? No, I alpha tested it. So you beta tested it. No, that's the difference. Alpha gets in before the beta. It's even cooler. Beta testing is cool, but like alpha testing is like God tier. I don't know what Obi's doing, but anyway. Now, what's cool too is that they're gonna do an off-the-shelf starter kit, like a retail offering for it. Blizzard Watch reports this bundle will go on sale at unannounced retailers for $19.99. And includes individual codes for the following items: Ronin Zeratul skin, 5 playable heroes, Jaina, Lily, Zeratul, Sonya, and Zagara. A unique Golden Tiger mount exclusive to the retail starter pack. No, it's exclusive to that, the Golden Tiger. I don't think they've had it before. Not even in the Founders Pack. Blizzard has also stated that each item in the retail starter pack comes with its own code, so they're giftable. The player happens already. Oh, blah, 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 blah. All right, so, there's something else they have in here. DTP. Yes, that's pretty much it. Well, I also wanted to point out this article by Forbes. Every time we talk about an article from Forbes, and by the way, what's up, Bradley Shark? Shout outs to you. Welcome to the party. But every time we talk about Forbes, an article that they write that's gaming related, it's always something that makes you just facepalm. Because, alright, for other business stuff, I like Forbes. But they clearly have no clue when it comes to the business of video games. And they have no business in video games. So anyway, we'll link you guys to this facepalm inducing article. Now there's some decent points in here. I can see where they're coming from. Basically, the author says, and I don't even think this person deserves to have their name mentioned. It's on Forbes.com, and it was actually published about 5 days ago. Actually, if you're watching live, but he basically said that he's worried about the future of Blizzard. He doesn't think Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm are enough to carry their brand into the future. And then he go on to say, oh, League of Legends already has 65 million players on it. I think that is the very definition of accessible. No, it's not. What League of Legends had is timing and plenty of time to take advantage of the first-to-market status. All right? It is not an accessible game. In fact, in the past, I foolishly tried to get friends into League of Legends and failed miserably because it's not a game you could just tell anybody to play. Heroes of the Storm, I wholeheartedly share with everyone. And I really feel that if people give it a real shot and they enjoy PvP, they will love this game, hands down. Unless the only thing I can think of, they're graphic snobs, and it needs to be like, super high definition, 3D graphics, full models, ragdoll physics, and some of that stuff is there, but it's not freaking Witcher 3 or whatever, but it's still beautiful. So people just don't like the isometric view. So yeah, this whole comparison when people say, oh yeah, that's the League of Legends clone. Stop it. No, don't even finish that thought. Stop. Like League of Legends was the industry leader. Stop it. The thing that League of Legends has is the esports scene. But it's not they did not invent or reinvent the MOBA scene. They just did more of the same. They have great art direction and they have a strong community. I'll give them that. But Storm is redefining how MOBAs play and just how they feel, and it's everything. It's reinvented from the ground up. It's not just another MOBA. Anywho, there's a Nindy Humble Bundle out. A Nintendo Humble Bundle. I was actually really shocked by this. Yeah, Nintendo never does anything like this. Like going through third party? No, that's not Nintendo's way. But yeah, they have a Humble Bundle. It's a multi-platform thing. I think it's Wii U, 3DS, and I forgot what else it was. But there's a few games in there. They're indie games that are, I think, exclusive just to Nintendo platforms. Or semi-exclusive. Guacameele's in there. So it's kind of neat. So Nintendo has something out through a third-party channel. So it's kind of cool seeing them. That's actually refreshing to me because they normally don't go that route. They try to do everything themselves. So check it out. If I had Nintendo platforms myself, I'd jump on it. Actually, I could probably do it for the kids because we got some 3DSs in the house. I don't have one, but everyone else does. How does that work? Right. Welcome to being a parent. But it's cool. Another thing that I don't think we got to mention before, it's not really so much news now, but if you weren't aware, they're doing remastered versions of complete collections of the Gears of War series and Mass Effect series. And that's coming to the Xbox One. And, the Mass Effect is also coming to the PS4 as well. And maybe PC. Yeah, it should be PC as well. The PC, might be a little later. But it's kind of cool that they're doing that, because I would love to get back into Gears of War multiplayer on Xbox One, or Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is very much underrated. So I wouldn't be surprised if these kind of get snuck in, kind of sneak in for the holiday season. It's top 15, yo. Do it. What else?
Do it.
Soulforge has a new expansion called Rise of Varna, the Immortal King. And they're doing a legendary draft where you have a high chance. Oh, actually, no. They said it guaranteed legendaries if you do the legendary draft this weekend. Whoa! So if you go into draft, the way it works is you every now and then when you log into SoulForge, you earn event tickets, and you can use the event tickets to buy into different tournaments and whatnot. And the draft is part of that. And with draft, the cards you get from the open packs, you keep the ones that you pick for your your drafted deck. It's kind of cool. So they're guaranteeing that you're gonna get legendaries if you take part in the tournaments this weekend. So that's actually really awesome. So you might get yourself a copy of, what is it called? Varna the Immortal King and Dragon Wake? Is that what it's called? I don't even know what these cards do, but they sound OP already. I'm scared. I've been playing with Soulforge lately. Hearthstone has taken the lead again, and Heroes of the Storm, of course. We're almost done. And Obi's
Turtle,
like,
you bad boy. No.
wait, what's going on?
Chat.
Oh
And
my
all
God!
The next chat line's like, that will not be tolerated.
That's so wrong.
TNT. I don't even know
That's
what he's
so
saying.
wrong. I mean, I laugh at anything. I lived through that. It wasn't funny, but yeah. Anyway, for those in the live chat, you know what's going on. If not, man, use your
Hell,
imagination.
you're talking and I don't even know what's going on, dude. You lived through
It was a very tasteless joke about terrorism. Anywho, 2 new tables on Pinball FX 2. The Portal table, which is awesome, and the Star Wars Rebels table, which is also awesome. They're quite excellent. I enjoy them. And, you can add me. I don't know if Obi's doing Pinball FX 2, but if you add us and you can try to beat our high scores, which should be pretty easy. Derek H., the host of Dead Pixel Live over at allgames.com, has also challenged everyone and said that no one will beat his scores. So add VA Races. That's VA as in Virginia, Races. And he challenges everyone to see if they can beat his scores on the different tables on there. So
where?
on Pinball FX 2 by Zen Studios, same people that make Castle Storm, awesome people. Hello Zen. Okay. Anywho, what else? Stardock Entertainment just launched a game called Servo. It's an early access game, and it looks like it's a blend of like StarCraft, Planetary Devastation / Total Annihilation, Universe of War. It reminds me a little bit of different RTSs, but they're promising that it's gonna have some of the largest, most epic, large-scale battles you'll ever see, deep customization, and some collection gameplay mechanics. When I say collection, I wonder like what you collect stuff, and then you have persistent classes, like. You could build your own mech units and upgrade them and bring them from game to game. That could be kind of cool. I don't know how you could balance that, but that sounds really awesome, And these are the same people that published Galactic Civilizations 3, the Deep Space Sandbox experience, which is pretty awesome too. Imagine Eve meets Wing Commander, but like you can make it whatever you want to do, essentially. Like kind of like No Man's Sky promises to do, or Minecraft, but like with much prettier graphics. It's also worth noting that it's the same team that worked on and is supporting and updating Servo. Is the same team that worked on Age of Empires. There. That's all I got. And pizza. The pizza. They're talking about pizza in the chat. Oh yeah, Konami, the Konami thing. Yeah, we talked about PT and Konami's the future of Silent Hill and Castlevania and Contra and gosh, they own a lot of great properties. I don't know, Konami's. We're not gonna go back to that. It's a very sad place. Obi, he's speechless, I guess.
Welcome to Geeks Engaged. I don't know. This show's about you guys, our fellow geeks, our fellow nerds. Join the conversation live. Here's our TeamSpeak info. You guys can check that out right now. Please use headphones because it's just not very nice. Please, because we don't want to hear, mommy in the background. Crap, I did the wrong thing. We don't hear mommy in the background. We don't want to hear ourselves. But yeah. So we don't have any voicemails tonight. Wow, are we skipping this whole part?
Yeah, we don't have anything.
If you guys can't join us, we will say this. If you guys can't join us live, let's keep the geeky antics shenanigans going. Send us some tweets, guys. You can reach us pretty much any time on Twitter at Obi1X2, at YogiZilla, channel number 5, and of course, make sure you remember at Geeky Antics, where you guys can be. Wow, as always, the best way to experience all our geeky madness via our main live chat hub right here on Geeky Antics on Twitch. Or you can't join, and you can join the official Gang HQ. God damn, can I talk today? You can join the official HQ at geekyantics.net, where you can comment, share, join us on the forums. We really want to see what other geeks think. And, well, we're going to let Yogi talk for a little while. So, Yogi, what is some of the latest content on geekyantics.net?
Lots of people introducing themselves over in the forums, different streamers, authors, podcasters. We also got that anti-social media piece that I was talking about for the past few weeks. That's in the works. And also, of course, you can definitely expect more Heroes of the Storm stuff. Has been kind of one of our main focus areas. Our friends at the Worst Radio Show have kind of enticed me to try out Destiny again, and really give it a shot, just so I can at least play with friends. And I keep getting invites to Destiny. People just assume that I have the game because I have an Xbox One. It's so funny. Like, I just get blind invites for people my friends that like, blah, 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 invite you to play Destiny. I'm like, I don't have that game. Awkward. No other game. No one's invited me to play Mortal Kombat X. Nobody's invited me to play Witcher 3, but that doesn't have multiplayer, so that might be awkward anyway. It's like, there's freaking Destiny. I don't get it. But
it's your destiny.
It's my destiny, apparently. If that game, I feel like if that game was at the $20 price point, I'd just jump on it. Bam, right there.
And if you start playing Destiny, Yancey could get you some viewers. That dude is streaming all the time.
Yeah.
Like I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, he's streaming. I wake up at noon, he's still streaming. I'm up at 9 p.m., he's still streaming.
Yeah, it's a great...
Dude, you sleep.
It's a great game to stream because you can set up different raid parties on the fly, so it's great for viewers, as a viewer game. And since it's so grindy, I mean, that's basically the nature of the game. It's a grind fest. Mm-hmm. You're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, but you're just going to keep running different groups, So, right. Interesting stuff. So I know that it's going to be something that I'm going to have to put time into it if I want to get enjoyment out of it. But, I just want to... I would like to be able to join our friends over at the Waste Radio Show. And then, they're actually going to write, more than likely, an article, like a primer for Destiny newbies.
Well, I think when I take my trip to New York this summer, I may have to go over and say what's up.
Say what's up to them, yeah. I might have to meet. I might have to meet up with you over there too.
You might have to come up. I'll go over. We'll just have a party. Have a big old fucking. I don't even like pizza, dude. I can't even say that. We'll have a big old.
You don't like pizza?
I don't.
Oh.
No, I like a New York dog or something.
A dirty dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had one of those, and those are just amazing.
And
Problem is, I almost died last time I ate it. So.
Well, you don't have to get it from the cart. Go to Grace Papaya.
Onions.
Oh.
Yeah.
But do Grace. Grace Papaya is great too. They do the ones that are on the grills, the little rollers.
But no, that dirty dog is. Oh, you guys go to New York, get a dirty dog. Awesome.
Yeah. The carts are not where they used to be because you used to be able to get like.
They're huge.
Well, yeah, you get a nice good, beef, frankfurter. The skinny hot dog, not the thick one. The skinny one is the true beef frank.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get that a knish, or a nice salty pretzel.
All right, stop, man.
Good times.
Guys, if you do want to send us a voicemail at any time, you guys can. You guys can voicemail us at 206-415-4987. That number again is 1-206-415-4987. Be advised that it's in the U.S. It's a U.S. based, so if you're overseas, you want to go ahead, but be prepared. There's some charges to go along with that. So you guys can't call us. It's not a big deal. You guys can send us an email at mail@geekingantics.net. You can put one of our names in front. Yogizilla at geekingantics.net. It'll be one next to at geekingantics.net, and you guys can mail us directly. So, and we'll respond to those questions and comments on the prospective shows that we're on. So, corned beef and cabbage. I don't want you to talk. But I'm mad. She made a whole pot of it. Her family ate it all.
That's good stuff. That's a true Irish treat. That's another thing. I'm kind of glad I left New York City when I did, because it's not the same as it used to be. I left New York City at its peak, and now I hear all the stuff has changed. It's all like these ritzy places, and all the nice dive bars and good places to eat are going away. It's just become this pretentious cesspool of BS and paying way too much to park. Parking one day in New York City is anywhere from $70 to $150. That's crazy. Parking. For if you park a whole day, yeah, it's crazy.
Why?
Depending where you park. Yeah, you don't want to own a car or park your car in the heart of New York City. It's stupid. They take advantage because people are so desperate to like live the dream and live there.
Want to drive?
You do?
Shit. One thing. Some subways and stuff are bad, but you think about it. That's why they have a subway system, so you don't have. Okay.
Yeah, you just take your car to New Jersey, then ride the PATH train in for like $2 or whatever it is now. I remember when it used to be like 50 cents.
So instead of $70 to $100, you can park in Jersey for $1 or $10 a day. Or something like that, where it's like a fraction of what it costs downtown New York.
Yeah, it's crazy. How did we even get to that? I think we're going somewhere with that. Oh yeah. But they got rid of all the Irish pubs. Like a lot of Irish pubs, they used to serve the corn.
We were talking about corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, the corned beef and cabbage. Like that used to be a thing you could get anywhere. Corned beef sandwich.
Yeah, that's where I actually officially Mom and Grandma made it back. Grandma made it back in the day when we go over her house. She knew we loved that. She'd have a big old pot of corned beef and cabbage waiting for us when we got there. But the first time I went to New York, way back in the day, there was an Irish pub that my dad had to go in and ask if I could come in and eat, because that's all we wanted to do. Because of we heard that this is the best place to have corned beef and cabbage. And he's like, yeah, sure, my boy, come on in, blah, 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 blah. And I went in there. Oh, man, the women in there. That's where I got my first boner. But anyway, I ate corned beef and cabbage, and it was like true like Ireland corned beef. I mean, it just, and then that's where I fell in love with it. So like, if I ever go anywhere, the United States or Europe or wherever, and you guys are around and you guys want to bring me some corned beef and cabbage, I might just, love you forever.
Oh, so good. Stever just talked about the best burger he ever had was corned beef, a beef patty, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing. Ooh.
It's called a Reuben.
It's kind of a play on a Reuben, yeah. That's okay. We gotta move on.
Beef and sauerkraut. That's called a Reuben.
Yeah. But the beef patty is an extra thing. But yeah, it's a Reuben style beef.
Okay, it's a stacked Reuben then. Okay.
Yeah. It's a Reuben. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's got. I'm just saying, if it's got corned beef, cabbage, or corned beef, sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing, I don't care what else you put on it. That's a fucking Reuben.
Well, the sauerkraut and the corned beef is always a must. Because
we make the po' boy Reubens in a frying pan on the stove.
Ooh, po' boys.
Dude, po' boys. Oh,
that's a southern thing. What do you know about po' boys?
Shit, dude. Not like the po' boys that you're thinking of in the sub bun. I'm talking about a poor ass mother trying to make a Reuben. You get the jar, you get the package of corned beef, you get a jar of sauerkraut, you put it in a pan, you butter, you start doing everything, and by the time the bread's done to flip it over, you just stack everything on and everything warms up, the cheese melts, and it's just, oh yeah. Boing.
And we've become the food cast once again.
Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever. We tell everybody in the beginning we're going to talk about food.
Yeah. BFT is also breaking down his heritage a bit. He's 25% Italian, 50% French Canadian, 50% other mid-European, 100% Dynamite. French Canadian, see, that's one of those things where it's like that's more of a nationality origin than it is an ethnicity.
Well,
because you could be in French Canada and be like Puerto Rican or Dominican or Chinese.
If you're in French Canada and you're Puerto Rican, you're in the wrong part of the world, sir. You're gonna freeze your nuts off. Just saying.
I like the code. I think I've had enough heat in my life.
25% Irish. I got a little Scot. 25%. We'll say 25% Scot. Okay, and 100% asshole. That's what I am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction. American Dynamite. He did put the flag there. 100% American. America!
Yeah, well, no, I'm 100% dickhead, so it's all good.
BFT's last name is as Italian as it gets, though. So I think there's more Italian than anything else.
Wasn't it Alfonso or something?
Just
kidding. I'm just kidding.
What the hell?
I'm not gonna say his last name on stream. Come on.
Yeah. I don't want to put his stuff out there.
Alfonso. It's kind of what it sounds like if you just like.
But it's one of those names that has like da 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 da.
Hey, BFT, what's up? He's like, what?
Morg wanted to get in on the breakdown.
Why did he get timed out?
Night butts being a butt. We got Irish, Norwegian, Scottish in here, French, English, Irish, more Irish. Oh, BFT did it by accident. That trigger finger.
Yeah, he was like, ban. He's like, ban finger initiated. Oh shit! Too fast.
He's raging at me. What did I do? Can I say you're Italian? Yeah, you're a good old boy.
Pizza Boy's like, what the fuck, dude? What do you do that for?
Like one day we're gonna hang out. One day we're gonna hang out with BFT, and I bet you he's gonna be like the guy that's like kind of like quiet, but then like he'll get into mischief. Be like, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's just
like BFT, what are you doing? Don't worry about it.
It's like yeah, like, it's like kind of like what was that movie? Knock Around Guys with the Italian guys.
So really?
Is that the one? That's it. That's really Italian name right there.
I'm sorry, dude.
Hey,
I didn't want to say your full. I know your name. I just didn't want.
Anyway, moving on. It's time for one of our segments, our planned topics. That be a little more structured now. V, you ready to do it, or are we just gonna jump in?
Yep,
Okay.
I am.
Okay. Waiting on you.
Quickie.
Oh my god.
Tech gadgets and trending we wish lasts longer. Kind of like some sex. That didn't come out right. Who is on HOTS now, guys? Has anything changed? Yes.
Oh, I didn't change that. I had to.
Yogi is just setting me up for failure, everybody.
That's my fault. I changed the title and I changed the bullet point, but I didn't change that part. So yeah, you know, I just figured we have a little tech corner where we could go in a little retro style, you know, because we do the Retro Friday thing, so it works. And we have friends in the Retro Junkies network, so we appreciate what they're doing. We have friends do Gaming History 101. We like the retro stuff.
Stedberg is like, I'm at work. That was bad.
Oh,
Because my my orgasm sound.
yeah, because he usually comes in after.
If your boss came across your desk, what was that? You got somebody underneath the desk again?
Oh, come on. Regular radio has worse stuff. Like regular, listen to your car radio. That's still a thing.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
But, anyway, we're going to highlight some.
Start walking around the corner.
We're going to highlight some tech. Some stuff's old school. Some stuff not so much. But, I mean, Obi, did you get a chance to look at this list at all?
I kind of glanced over it, but not really.
All right. Well, the
I know
first
what
one,
everything is.
the first one I'm going to start off with is just cartridges as a whole. So when you talk about an 8-track or, you know, NES cartridges, is this something that used to be, you know, Atari 2600 cartridges? I missed them. I mean, granted, they had their run, and I know that they had issues with like the contacts getting corroded or scratched. But there's just something magical about having a cartridge and just sticking it into a drive or to a reader. You know, it's just something neat about that. Now, I think it ran its full course. But as far as nostalgia goes, it still feels nice to pop in a Genesis cartridge or pop in an NES cartridge, you know, or a Atari 2600 cartridge, you know, ColecoVision cartridge, whatever. There's just something magical about that. On a similar note, this is a more recent technology, mini disc, the MD. A lot of people forgot about these. This was like
because they were only around for like a year.
they had a good like maybe 3-year run. Before
Not even that long, dude. Because
Okay.
by the time that they were fully coming out, they were coming out with the HD DVD.
mini disc was competing. Actually, mini disc didn't have any format to compete with it, other than burnable discs.
But nobody wanted to use it because it was just an extra. I don't know. Because every mini disc you couldn't take it out of the case. You had to keep it in the case. And
That's
then
part of
you
the
had to
be-
have a-
That's part of the beauty of it.
right.
The
but
disc
then you
never
had to
got
have
scratched.
Right, but then you actually had to have another reader. Then you had to have this. You had to have another.
Yeah, but same thing with DVD players. The reason it didn't work, that you know, Sony has had a long history of getting involved with different format wars and failing. They fell short with Betamax. Some people argue that was the better format, but I'm sorry, VHS was just cheaper, you know. And basically, whatever format the porn industry goes behind is the one that's gonna win, and that's what the porn industry chose. Laserdisc. It was an awesome idea. It's like, hey, let's make vinyl records that are shiny, Oh, cool. That's pretty much what that was. But it was just too much of a niche thing, too much of a luxury thing. They didn't have enough customers to sustain it. Mini disc, what killed them was they didn't get the third party support. They promised that there was going to be lots of record companies and publishers putting out content on mini disc, and there was nothing on store shelves. But as a recording medium, man, I love my mini disc. Recording off of a tape player or a CD player, a computer, whatever I put my mini disc player into, it recorded on the fly. You could do high speed dubbing. The quality in it was amazing. It was like being right there, like in front of an orchestra, and you could even remix the mini disc on the fly on the player / recorder itself, like a portable thing. It was way ahead of its time. Now you can do that with MP3 pure digital format, but it was just this nice hybrid of like analog and digital technology. It was just cool having the clamshell kind of or the slot feed. You know, you had, like you said, there was a disc inside of a little cartridge, kind of like the UMDs that PlayStation used to have, the PSP.
Even just a floppy, even a floppy.
Yeah,
Same thing.
But instead of the Mylar coated thing in the middle, it was the disc.
BFT did have a good point though. The only reason that the mini disc didn't catch on it that he thinks is it came on so fast. But then it really kind of it scared people. Like, it was like, oh my God, I went from a tape to this now. What's going on? And then shortly after that, you know, the CD, you know, what, a couple years maybe, the CDs started coming out, rewritables. And then, you know, I think that caught on faster than the mini discs because people didn't want to pay that extra money for the mini disc, and they had to get, like I said, get the other. I don't know why it didn't catch on more than it did. But I did have a mini disc, and mine worked great.
I loved mine.
But it's just, it's obsolete now. Well, maybe depends on what you're doing.
I mean, if you still have one, it's still serviceable. It's just cool. I mean, you can have a whole collection of great things in a smaller thing that's gonna last better because they're not gonna get scratched. Mm-hmm. So if you can still find blank media, oh my God, I gotta dig up mine because that thing was just so much fun. I played the crap out of that. Yeah, I mean, it was accessible, it was practical, and just amazing. The sound quality, dude. Alright, that'll get me started. Another thing that I think is crazy, this boggles my mind. You know, back in like the late 90s, I would say, they coined the term called ESP, electronic skip protection. And it was when the CD player had memory built into it for X amount of seconds or minutes. Low end, you'd have like a 10 to 15 second buffer. High end, it'd be like 2 minutes or more.
2.5.
Yeah. And it boggles my mind that this isn't standard on cars even today. You're in your car listening to a CD, boom, going to hit a bump, it skips. Really?
Depends. Do you have an aftermarket CD player?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
well, I'm saying, no. Hear me out and answer the question.
The aftermarket ones have it.
All right.
The ones built into the car don't.
Yeah, but also when the car is built, okay, even if it has a CD player in the car built in factory, they actually have shock absorbers in the dash to eliminate that anti-skip. But hear me out. It didn't work because they didn't have, of course, the extra hard drive space or the extra memory to put in there. Today, I don't know why. I mean, to get the ESP, you actually have to have an aftermarket.
Yeah.
They don't come stock, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because solid state memory is dirt cheap.
People would actually keep the original stereo in their car, or get it or buy it with that stereo because it actually works right. But reason people want to change out stereos and CD players is because they want the newest best thing. Oh man, yeah, my CD player is a Pioneer and it's awesome. Well, fuck, mine flips up to a 10-inch screen. What about you?
Oh,
Really? Like, holy crap, are you serious? A 10-inch screen? Yeah, check it out. So a screen came out of his CD player and flipped up, and literally, no lie, it's a 10-inch screen. How the hell does it even fit in there? Oh, like this, and he just puts it away, and it's like that thin. It's like ultra thin,
yeah.
and it's a touchpad, and I'm like, screw you, bro. How much was that? Oh, they almost $1,000. It's like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
You paid for that. I'm not. Nope. Let's go.
Yeah.
The next thing that came around, HD DVD.
Yeah.
Whoever thought of this, or the person that originally came up with this, the HD, getting that better vision, I love you. Now, for those that have been watching TV, movies, everything not in HD, and when you move to HD, a lot of people don't see the difference. Yogi? I mean, how, when you first watched a movie, okay, let's just use a movie, for instance. When you first watched a movie, and you saw it not in HD, and then you got that same movie a couple weeks later, or a month, whatever, you watched it again, but it was in HD, did you see the difference, or could you tell the difference?
Not really. Even, like, you really have to look for it. The whole 1080 versus 720 argument is poop. 720 between 720 and 480, you can sometimes see the difference just because the sharpness,
720 or
little
480,
better.
right? 720 or 480 to 720 is the differences that people sees are edges. 480 edges are rough. They're blurry. They're kind of just there. 720, that's where you're getting into that finer graphic to where you can actually see the edge and see it clearly. It's a fine line, basically.
Yeah.
That's really the only difference. And then 720 to 1080.
Yeah, people like to think that they can see the difference, but most people can't. So it's just.
I mean, I can tell the difference. I mean, I don't really necessarily, like you said, you can't tell unless you're actually just sitting there looking for it. Like, oh, there it is, right there. I can see the edge. Sure. Anyway, I don't know. You go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, the thing about HD as a whole is that those resolutions were on PC for a long time, and other things. The TV finally caught up. So then we got HD DVD and Blu-ray because they got these TVs that could put out more scan lines, but the content wasn't caught up. So it made everything that was perfectly fine before look like crap because it was stretching it out further, and it was very lossy. So you got all the jaggies and the blurry stuff, and it just wasn't nice. So HD DVD to me was the better value and the next logical step because it would play your DVDs just fine, and there was just it was just a natural upgrade. They were better with the pricing and the bundles and the pack-ins and all that stuff. But Sony finally had to win one of the format wars, and they won it with Blu-ray. But what's funny with the Blu-ray consortium, Sony and whoever else, I think Philips and some other companies were together pushing for Blu-ray, and I know Toshiba and Microsoft, some other companies were pushing for HD DVD. Once Blu-ray won, the promises for feature-rich interactive multimedia experiences and connected technologies disappeared. What happened to our live chat? We were supposed to have a feature with the Blu-ray players where you watch a movie and it's a built-in live chat. You can talk to people about the movie while you're watching it. Or there's supposed to be things where you could change parts of the movie into your own thing, customize the way a car looks in the movie. Like, there were all these things they were promising with Blu-ray. Like, with all this space, we could add so many more features. There was more value on regular DVDs with all the extras. Now it's like, it's Blu-ray. That's the value in itself. It looks better. They just gave up. And it was funny. If you go back to the stuff that was published when Jungling Jim, thanks for following and welcome to the gang. You know, if you go back to the stuff that was published when there was still the war raging on, they really try to put that value there. Now it's like, well, we won the war. We don't need to put any we don't need to bother anymore. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Floppy disk talk here. Terry Claus says, when Blu-ray first came out, a lot of the movies, it didn't do proper transfer, and a lot of the movies in HD had the film grain. Today, movies on Blu-ray look clean and no film grain. Yeah, that's another thing. That's a whole thing, other thing altogether. I liked the initial HD DVD stuff, and they were really pushing it hard. Like I remember going to conventions, you got free HD DVDs. They were really trying to get people on board with it. Sony had to win one. I mean, they lost all the previous format wars, but I feel like this Blu-rays, you got all this extra space and it's not being used really. Because the video itself is compressed so hard anyway. Anywho. Obi, you seem contemplative over there.
Yep.
Well, another one is 3D video games. Obi, have you had an experience with 3D video games in the past few years?
I have played with the Oculus.
No, not VR. Not VR. 3D.
3D video games?
Like 3D.
The only 3D video game that I've played in the last 2 years, I can't talk about.
Yeah, I don't want to... I mean, VR is 3D, but I kind of put it separately. Now...
Well, I played one, but I can't talk about it on HorsePLAY Live.
Okay. Well, the thing is, there's all this talk about virtual reality, and virtual reality comes and goes every few years, and Oculus Rift and Morpheus and all this crap is just another thing. Augmented reality, I think, had more potential than VR, but I'm not gonna get into that. But 3D games started coming out, and it was really cool seeing them. I mean, 3DS still has 3D games, obviously that's what they do. But like we were seeing them on the PlayStation and on the Xbox, but now it's like they just disappeared. I remember also Sharp Sharp actually does a lot of inventions, a lot of pioneering technology. Even though they're not the most powerful brand in terms of sales of their units, the tech they sell and like resell, and other companies that kind of repurpose for their own brands, keeps them going strong. But they had worked on the tech, the same kind of tech that 3DS used. I think they are using the Sharp technology to have retro. Oh, we got one of those too, Obi. Those things are cool.
My phone.
My God.
I'm derailing again.
Yeah, we're gonna derail here.
That's funny. Yeah. My phone has no speaker in it, so to talk on my cell phone, I actually have to have this. So I'm driving down the road in my truck, and I've got this to my ear. Cop pulled me over. What is that? You don't want to. Go ahead.
The retro phone.
OP, bro.
Jeff says, Jeff, aka Pet Me Instantly Human, he says, I have a free 3D video game. It's a big download, though. It takes around 80 years to download. Life.game.exe. Yeah, Fatal might have a point. They realize how bad that 3D games were for your eyes. Usually, I remember when they started really pushing the 3D sets, TVs, and they started making the 3D movies, and then that kind of fell off. And I don't see that anymore. But they actually marked the packaging like, do not watch more than 2 hours or 3 hours of 3D content at a time. People were actually getting like vertigo and all kinds of crazy stuff, like motion sickness and crap. But it was just cool having that option. We could toggle it on and off for the 3D. It's like they were going a step in the right direction. I always liked 3D. I always was more hopeful for 3D than virtual reality, because I feel like we could do more with 3D right now than we can with full-on immersion in virtual reality. Like, remember back in the day, Obi, watching 3D kung fu flicks? The kicks coming at you. and you're being wild, like, yo, that's crazy.
Well, and with the 3D thing, with versus virtual reality, I'm kind of shooting for the 3D thing too because the VR is so expensive. For 3D is a lot cheaper. I mean, it's like a fraction of the cost that it would cost to get the VR setup or get the virtual reality system or even just the Oculus. I mean, the cost is just, I mean, alone would. Anyway.
So yeah, it looks like 3D, much like virtual reality, is just another passing fad that will come and go, come and go, and come and go. Maybe one day we'll get smell-o-vision. That could be dangerous, though. Yes, porn on the window HoloLens. That's gonna definitely be a thing. That's the and see porn. That's where formats and technology win when the porn industry fully adopts them. So if people start really making, VR porn games and all that stuff, it's gonna take off. But if they don't, that's where the money's at, kids.
Hurry up, let's make them. Hurry up, hurry, Yogi, go.
I know,
Start.
we gotta jump
Program.
on that, right?
Go.
No.
We
Anyway,
actually had good comments on Geeky Antics. We don't want to start the negative ones.
yeah, we don't. I was gonna mention interactive games on DVDs and Blu-rays, but I think we kind of covered that already. And the Power Glove, all this wearable tech.
But Power Glove was awesome, dude.
Yeah, and we don't have any cyborg gloves.
I love the Power Glove. I wish they would come out with something like the Power Glove again.
Yeah, I think there's a space for
awesome.
it. I mean, people are freaking jerking off to the Apple Watch, and it's a freaking phone you wear on your wrist. Big whoop.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a Dick Tracy watch, then I get excited about it.
Well, with the Apple Watch, Apple's trying to portray the we're going to jump on the health train bandwagon now. Here's this, everybody's trying to be healthy, so we're going to make something because we know these people, I'm just going to say people, are going to buy it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The marketing hype.
I mean, my wife's family, they all got one. They're like, I walked 10,000 steps today. Good for you. I sat in my chair in my room on my ass.
The chat's cracking me up right now. Oh, boy.
If you guys do have any thoughts, though, that you'd like to add on this little topic here, please leave us a voicemail. You guys can leave us a voicemail, 206-415-4987, and we'll respond live on the next show we have, next time we talk about this topic. But I think we're doing pretty good on time today. Moving on, shout-outs and love. Of course, this is the segment where we love to shout out, and we find a few interesting facts about our show. Yogi Zilla, what was the ranking last week on the AllGames.com Power Rankings charts?
We're back up to number 11.
All right, moving back up, guys.
Yeah, we started at the bottom, now we're here.
It's been really competitive over at allgames.com. So what we do want to say is we really appreciate it for all the love and the support that you guys are showing us. More importantly, we want to continue to have record-breaking weeks. Okay,
Yes.
We want to do that. HorsePLAY episode 73 got tons of downloads, guys, and playing across all platform. Thank you. We can't say much more than that, but thank you, guys. We really appreciate it, and we really love that people are getting excited about, of course, HorsePLAY Live and geekantics.net. So don't forget to help us out by going to play that stream over at allgames.com about 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT. Yeah, guys, we can do this. We can get up to the top 5. All we need is a little bit of your help. Play or stream on your smartphones, tablets, computers, anything. If your toaster's got you can even play that. Go ahead. You don't even have to listen to us. You just mute us for 5-10 minutes and help us out. We really appreciate it.
Word up, yo.
And we do give now for some long overdue shout outs to some of our close friends and collaborators, of course, at hashtag the gang. We do want to give big shout outs to the B Team podcast. If you guys want to check those guys out, 9 p.m. And I'm not going to say all these. I'm going to say what I know. Okay. B Team podcast right before our show, 9 p.m. on allgames.com. The Worst Radio Show, R9 Cast. The Gaming Death Podcast, 42 Level 1. Zombie Cast, Knuckleballer Radio, Atari 2600, Game by Game, Two Dudes and an NES, Gregory Poet, Cupcake Envy, Cupcake Noms, Morgana Freya, Rhea Rant, Rantalistic by Mel is her name. Mel Dunn 3, Gods of Mayhem, A Worthy Opponent, Hotscast, Stormcast, and of course Renee Bones. We appreciate you guys more than you know. We really do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Now we do have a couple stories that we'd like to tell your, I think Yogi kind of said something about it earlier, but we just been starting to do a segment. It's been kind of fun, to tell you the truth, but we've been doing Salty Dog of the Week. He kind of said his already, and I'm going to pull out mine. We were playing HOTS, actually, and I was kind of teaching some new people about the game. They were all like, it sounds fun, man. They're League of Legends players, and I said, just, it's a true team game. If you want the team aspect of it, come play over here with me. So they came, they downloaded it, they come play, and the first game, this is no lie. First game, I'm teaching them what's going on. I think it was Spider Queen, I think. I don't know. I think it was Spider Queen because we had spiders. Every person, there was one person on there, it was Avala, okay? And she was the only person that was just, oh my God, why did you take that? Why are we playing? This comp is terrible. What the hell? Blah, blah, blah. Why are you guys pushing so hard? Why are you doing that? Blah, 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 blah. Hey, Diablo, you're the worst Diablo in the world. And I, thank you very much, but go f yourself. But it's just salty. So I finally said, why are you so mad at me? What did I do in the game to make you mad? You picked Diablo. I said, Diablo's overpowered, dude. You just need to follow me in. Let's play as a team. Screw all you guys. And then I just start typing salt. Every time the person would talk, I would just salt. And it gets so mad. So thank you for this person. And I'm just going to spell out the name because it's DISMANEYNES. It's weird. But
What?
You have the Salty Dog of the Week. It's on HOTS. It's DISMANEYNES. Don't ask. I'm just spelling it because I can't say it.
Oh.
You know that person, don't you?
I've seen that person.
You know that salty-ass bastard, don't you?
I've seen that person before.
I've been playing HOTS since it started. I don't care, dude. You're salty as shit. Stop.
Yeah.
I was in the alpha test when all you frickin' noobs weren't here. I was like, yeah, and you probably waited an hour and a half for a game, didn't you? That's not because there weren't all these frickin' retards here. And I'm diamond, I'm platinum in League of Legends, and I don't understand this. This game is stupid. Why are you playing it?
Yeah.
But grats to you, Salty Dog of the Week. Have a great day. Now, Yogi Zilla with a message from our sponsors.
So yeah, real quick so we keep things moving along. Every week we've been kind of reminding you guys, if you have friends that are artists, graphic designers, photographers, and a lot of those things go hand in hand and are synonymous to some, but I want to distinguish them. Particularly if you are a wedding photographer. A lot of people are getting married in the spring and summer. Spring, that's not even a season over here. Let's be honest. Good Lord.
Georgia, it goes cold, it goes winter, hotter than shit.
Yep,
That's
pretty
your
much.
seasons. And then winter again, hotter than shit. You don't have 4 seasons, you have 2.
Yeah.
I lived in Georgia for a while. Way
Yeah.
gross.
This one has been crazy this year. But anyway, if you know those people, everybody knows someone. Send them our way. They could tweet at Shiny Prince FL because they're based out of Florida, or even tweet us at Geeky Antics. We'll give them some details, or just send them over to shinyprince.com. We'll do both, so we can share some ways that you could offer Shiny Prince to your customer, make some more money for yourself, and save money for your customers because they don't have to worry about buying frames, and they get a better quality product. Everybody wins. I mean, this is a luxury product. You get something printed on metal. That's badass. Not no freaking paper canvas. That's for the noobs. Get it done on metal. That's for real people right there. Real people do real things, yo. Know what I mean? Anyway, if you have a dream custom print, maybe some fan art, something anime or video game inspired that you would like to see printed, why don't you just tweet it out again at Geeky Antics or at Shiny Prince FL, and use hashtag Shiny Prince, and hashtag Metal Art. You can use hashtag Wall Art too. We'll get those trending, and we'll share some of those, and get some conversation going. I want to see what I shared one. Mine was like a Mega Man collage. That I think would be really cool as a shiny print. I might end up ordering that. Have that in the background. Have something a little sexier for you guys to watch when I'm doing video. But yeah, that's it.
And speaking of the we said that we're looking for artists and stuff. I'm looking for somebody, and I want it done for Yogi too. So you have to do 2 people. That doesn't sound right, but I'm gonna keep talking. An actual true cartoon character of myself and Yogi. I need it for some stuff I'm planning. So I need somebody to do it. Yes, if you need commission for it, I will definitely commission you for that. Not a problem at all, but I need a good artist to help out. So let's do it. Exact few dollars. Literally, because I'm poor.
Few dollars.
$2. No, I didn't say $2. I said a few dollars.
$2.
And now for our feature presentation. Not so stinky games.
Yep.
That was pretty good, man.
So it's pretty good. Pretty darn
You
good.
like that? Thanks, man. Yeah, it's all you.
So, consider this an expanded The Dust Off, hashtag The Dust Off. If you're not familiar with Dust Off, that's where we dust off games we haven't played in a while, or we just share our current gaming playlist, our rotation, or things that we'd like to come back to. It's an overall kind of gaming talk segment. But today what we want to do is kind of just talk about games that maybe promised too much and ended up disappointing, or the ones that fell under the radar for whatever reason because they just maybe got released at the wrong time, like too many games coming out at once. So some of these games, because of bad timing or over-promising things, they were kind of dismissed or just deemed stinkers. But these games, they're not so stinky. They're not so stinky, guys. There's quite a few that are worth going back to now. I have a few picks. I'm sure Obi has some. Obi, do you have one you want to share? Start off, or should I go through my list first? Okay. So one that we already mentioned at the top of the show. If you love Borderlands or MMORPGs, or you just love grinding, if you don't mind repetition, Destiny, that might be the game for you. There's lots of stuff to do. A lot of it's very similar, but it's got satisfying gunplay and the social aspect. That's a game that I've told consistently by people you don't want to play alone, which makes sense because most people I know that are really into it, they stream and they play with their viewers. So that's interesting. Oh, Fatal has a good one. Homefront. Great game that just chose a bad release time. That is very true. I loved that game. The campaign was fantastic, and the online actually was really cool. It was like Battlefield, but some different kind of things in there. A lot of vehicle combat. Sadly, THQ, man, THQ was already struggling by the time they published that game, and yeah, it's a shame what happened there. We may never see the sequel. It didn't help that they had hired a pretty high-profile writer, and he quit like halfway through the project. So like the rest of the story was really rushed and not as polished. A lot of awkward things there. But that game, I would say, is still worth going back to. So yeah, I definitely would agree. Homefront. Yeah, Red Faction too. Those are games that kind of are little hidden gems. One of my picks is Sunset Overdrive. This is a game that was really hyped up during E3 a couple years ago. Like, then it dropped. Gosh, when did it release? It's not that old. I think it's less than a year. But people talked about it a little bit on different podcasts and websites, and then everybody forgot about it again. Similar thing that happened to Titanfall, which actually Titanfall isn't a bad game. But that tutorial to start off is really rough. But Sunset Overdrive, it has like all the good aspects of games like Brink, Titanfall, Dead Rising, Mirror's Edge, Wet, if you guys ever played those. All these flavors are there, and they're delicious. Some people complain about the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack, though I still feel like you should always have the option to let people listen to a podcast or their own custom soundtrack. That's super important, especially on a system that's by design meant to let you multitask. Sunset Overdrive is really fun. Also reminded me a little bit of like Dying Light, but it's just really off the wall. The humor is great. The guns they have are ridiculous. As far as like the creativity of the weapons they have in that game, it reminds me more of like Quake or maybe Team Fortress. It's just really zany kind of ideas with the weapons and the gunplay. The parkour is amazing. It's very well refined. It might actually give Assassin's Creed a run for its money, if not beat it. The jury's still out on that. There's times when Assassin's Creed, at least Unity, feels kind of clunky and the controls feel a little heavy. Another time it's really smooth, so it really depends. But I feel like I picked up Sunset Overdrive and I picked up the habits, the tricks to it really quickly, and the more you play that game, the more it opens up and the more you're pulling off these combos. It's very highly stylized too. So if you like games that are highly stylized, like with combos and everything, like Devil May Cry, Sunset Overdrive, boom, definitely has it. Yeah, BFT says Mirror's Edge still wins for parkour in a video game. I don't know. Sunset Overdrive it's got some really good stuff there. It's a close call. You got the wall running, you got grinding. There's a lot of good stuff there. I mentioned earlier Pinball FX 2. The Pinball FX series has been around for a while. It was on the 360. It's on Xbox One now. Well, it's been out for a while too. But it's just a great game. Probably the definitive pinball simulator on consoles. And it was nice about it. If you bought the Pinball FX tables, Pinball FX 2 tables on 360, Xbox 360, you can import them over for free to the Xbox One. And they're constantly coming out with new tables for it. Like I mentioned earlier, they had the Star Wars Rebels table, which is great, and the Portal table. There's a lot of quality here. A lot of quality in this game. Also by the same company, by Zen Studios, Castle Storm. A game that I don't think gets nearly enough love. It's got a lot of cool like mechanics in it. It's kind of like a hybrid of tower defense, RTS, Worms type kind of game. You know, like it has like that Worms like thing where you have to aim shots and kind of figure out where they're gonna arch, or Angry Birds. It's got a little bit of Angry Birds going on in there. I really recommend if you don't like multitasking, like switching between a lot of different things, do the co-op split screen, and you can have one person control your hero while the other person controls summoning creeps or soldiers, whatever you want to call them, and controlling the ballista, the actual turrets. That's a really fun game. Really fun game, Castle Storm. Zen Studios, they usually put out quality stuff. And last but not least, I mentioned it by accident, but and we've mentioned it many times before. Happy Wars. It's a game that seems really silly. It seems very childish, but there's actually a lot of depth there, and it's a fun game. It's like I don't know. It might be a guilty pleasure for some. The learning curve is a little rough though, because this is a game where it is kind of pay to win, and gear makes a huge difference. It still comes down to skill, but it's much harder for you to outplay someone when you're under geared. So, Happy Wars, check it out. You can play as a warrior, a cleric, or a mage. Obi, are there any games that you feel people missed out on, didn't give a chance, or games that people call bad, but they actually were good? Going back to them.
Castlevania.
Wait, who said Castlevania is bad?
A lot of people.
Those people are crackheads.
Yeah. No, but like Castlevania for like Nintendo 1. Like that Castlevania. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Wait, are these people that didn't grow up playing?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, if you grew up...
These are the same people that yell at their kids for playing video games even though they know me.
No, because there's also people that they think old school is like Sonic the Hedgehog. You bring up Pong or...
a fucking Pong system. That's old school.
Yeah, you bring up anything...
I got offered $1,000 for it the other day.
Yeah, those people, you bring up anything 8-bit or earlier, and they're like, what?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, you want $1,000 for my Pong system? I think I'm going to keep it. Because in a little while, you're going to offer me more.
Thing is, with the retro collectors, it goes up and down depending on demand. Right now, it's the hotness, and there's a lot of podcasts supporting it and YouTubers. But then once that hype dies down and demand isn't as great, the prices will drop as well. So it's tricky. It's like playing the stock market. You gotta know when to hold, and when to be a bear and when to be a bull.
Well, I've already got somebody that if I sell it, he'll give me anything I want for it. Like my Pong system's like there's no dents, no scratches. It's in pristine condition. Like I lucked out when I found it. It was in a pawn shop. And he sold it to me for basically what the pawn was, which was like $25. So think about that. I only spent $25 on it, and somebody's offered me $1,000 for it. I should have took it.
Yeah, most pawn shops don't know what they're sitting on. That's why they underpay you when they buy something off of you, because they want to make sure they get the profit.
Mm-hmm.
Pawn shops are great places to get deals or get quick cash if you don't care about getting crap money. But to get the top dollar, be careful. Always try to go to collectors directly. Resellers will usually screw you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they have to, like if I had a pawn shop, I don't care if something's worth $50. That's good. It's worth $50, but I'm only going to give you $25 for it because I need to sell it for $50.
Yep.
Or if I'm in a pawn shop, I need to sell it for $40. So I'm only clearing like $20 on one item.
Exactly.
But that's I mean, people don't understand it, but I read in this magazine that it's worth $20,000. Well, you're at a pawn shop, buddy. It's worth about a quarter of that. I'll give you $4,000 for it.
Yeah. And the higher the ticket on an item, the longer it'll take to sell. So they're sitting on that. They're eating that cost for however long it takes to sell that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I love watching I know it's most of that stuff scripted, but I've seen it happen firsthand. The stuff like that happen like on Pawn Stars, you know. Someone comes in, like,
and it's
oh,
funny,
the book value of it is $10,000. I don't want anything less than that. It's like, I'll give you 5,000,
sir. No,
Yeah.
they won't even go that high. If the book value is 10 grand on it, they might offer 2,500 for it. They're gonna offer. I'm gonna give you guys a little hint, okay? Pawn shops, and probably I might get yelled at by my buddy for saying this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Pawn shops are going to offer you 25% or less of what it's worth. And that's just being a good pawn shop, being a good businessman. It's not trying to take you over on anything. They got to realize what's going to be my take on this after I push it back out the door to another customer.
Yeah.
Okay, say you bring in, and I'm just going to use it, an old 1970 Harley Davidson. It's in pristine condition, and the book says you can get $50,000 out of it because it's so valuable. You know, there's not many there. Well, a pawn shop's gonna look and be like, yeah, that's a really nice bike, and they might say it's worth $50,000. Okay, they're gonna cut that in half right away, and then they're gonna cut that in half and get it again. They're probably gonna sit there and go, well, how about 15 grand? Because guess what? They gotta either say it's got a little bit of spec stuff on it. They gotta get it cleaned. They gotta get it this. They gotta get it that. They gotta get everything done with it. Hold on. Slowly down, please. They gotta get everything done with it, and then have to put it back on the shelf, keep it for a year because nobody wants to pay that ridiculous price, and then hopefully they find a collector of some sort that wants it and just needs to have it, and will pay what they want to charge them. Yep. So I mean, you got to think about if they're gonna pay 15 grand for a $50,000 bike, they're gonna spend another $10,000 holding it and cleaning it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, yeah, they make $25,000 off that one thing. Yeah, they better cut me a deal next time. But still, it's the whole point of the business. That's why people own pawn shops. It's not to give money away. I'm done. But you asked me to dust off. I don't really have any more games because I haven't played like a lot of different games. Usually, when I get a game, everybody knows that I kind of stick to that game for a little while. Just because I'm not one to jump back and forth and play 20, 30 games. I've gotten better to where I'm not playing just one or two. I play an average of 10 different games or so at a time. I have some dust off. You want those?
Well, I was just saying, like, anything that was maybe underrated or knocked, you know.
I really can't think of anything off the top of my head, to tell you the truth.
Cause I'll be honest, like Assassin's Creed Unity, everybody dumped at that game, and I agree. The way they handle the microtransaction is glitchy. It doesn't feel like a full price game. It feels like they really rushed it. And you know, I don't like that they're doing annualized Assassin's Creed. Sometimes 2 or 3 Assassin's Creed a year. But that game, if I just listened to people saying it was terrible and didn't try it myself, I would have missed out on something I'm actually really having fun with. Because the online is actually really fun. Being able to be in that world and mess around with people, as glitchy as it is and as incomplete. I mean, this is the smallest Assassin's Creed universe I've ever seen. Like, that world feels very tiny. Like, that map, the overworld, so to speak, on Assassin's Creed Unity is smaller in surface area than, say, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, or even Assassin's Creed 2. That's saying something. I mean, those worlds are pretty huge. But on the flip side, you can go into almost every building, and there's lots of underground areas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very vertical.
I remember one too.
Okay.
Ever since it came out, I've been playing Ace Combat. Okay, you know, I played Ace Combat 1. You played Ace Combat 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after 5, it kind of died down. Like, it just kind of stopped. Well, actually after Ace Combat 4, 5 really didn't have a release, but the one Ace Combat game that nobody really gave a chance because they thought the series was just done was Ace Combat 6. Fires of Liberation, I believe. And it's just, I mean, there's a lot of like coming out to where there's actually terrorist groups flying the planes, and they couldn't name them by name like Jihad, or they couldn't do that, but there was like names of groups or names of like how do I say it, flight groups or whatever that were like you knew they were terrorists, in a plane. You had to shoot them down before they got to the cities or just whatever. It was a really good game that nobody really gave a chance to. If you guys know the Ace Combat series.
That actually is a pretty underrated series. Like the people that play it, those games tend to fall in love with them, but you don't hear that much hype about them. That's a good one. I like that.
Thanks, man.
We got in the chat
Risen. The game Risen was a pretty the RPG was pretty underrated as well. Now that I'm thinking about it. It's kind of like a open world, kind of like oh shit, what's that game that just came out? It's like open world where you gotta fight a bunch of stuff, find loot chests and stuff like that. It never really got a big shot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Risen?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Here, I think I have it. Here it is. What do you call a game that doesn't really do anything new, but it does the conventional stuff fairly well? We call it Risen. And it's an action RPG set up in a tropical volcanic island. Well, Demon Souls, this is not. Risen does enough to keep things interesting. Sporting unlockable skills and attributes as we play. We can focus on combat, smithing, lockpicking, whatever we choose, and there's nothing more than a choice. I mean, it's a game that you actually had to make a choice in, and you actually had to go a certain path. If you didn't, you were kind of like locked in a place. I thought that was a really kind of, and I'm not really the RPG type game, but it was really underrated when it came out.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with a game that isn't trying to do something new, but they try to perfect the core mechanics. That's good too. You don't always have to break the mold.
Right.
So that's yeah. I almost forgot about that one. We got a few submissions here in the chat. BFT says Clive Barker's Jericho. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's the game I actually want to go back to because it was a really cool idea, and it's a horror game, a good one. That game, I don't remember there was much hype behind it. You would think the Clive Barker name, that's one of the big people of horror, like classic horror, like Wes Craven, or Stephen King, John Carpenter. These are big names, household names of horror. You would think that something like that would have gotten more attention. I think initially there was a big push for it, and then they kind of just slipped it in.
Yogi, I'm gonna spell this out, and you tell me what this word means. What word this is? Juares or EZ?
Juarez. Oh, Juarez.
What? So it's a.
Oh, you can say Juarez. Juarez.
There's a game called the original Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, that nobody gave really. It was the Western shoot 'em games that came out like Red Dawn and where you got to go kill Indians or whatever it was.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, it's a game just like that, but nobody it was so much. It was so far. I mean, the gameplay itself wasn't the best, with the shooting and stuff, but the cutscenes were way it was like a movie cutscene with animated characters, and it was just that's kind of another one that I kind of liked back in the day with those first person shooter type game.
That one was one that I think just kind of got released at a bad time. There were too many games coming out.
That's what I was gonna say. Because this is this one. Here, let me read it. Blah 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 blah. Okay. But anyone who watches John Wayne or Clint Eastwood on a regular basis should give Bound and Blood a try. Unfortunately, the game featured two brothers. There's no companion co-op to be found, which kind of why it didn't blow up or why it didn't catch on, because it's all first person. Like you can't buddy up with your buddy. Buddy up with your buddy and play these matches. Like a lot of games now, if they don't have a multiplayer, and then hear me out, because I know Witcher 3 doesn't and everybody loves that game, but a lot of games right now, a lot of people will not buy them if they don't have the online mode or the multiplayer mode, because they want to play with friends.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I can't do a game that's strictly single player. I just know myself.
Because it's boring, dude.
Yeah, and it's like I have limited time, so for me, my gaming time is also a way to catch up with friends. So, I just don't have the commitment to play a long single player game.
But those are a few that I kind of miss. I kind of believe, like, I want to get Call to Juarez out. I want to get that out again and play it, just because it was fun. But I mean, of course, too much is. Who actually single player games is too boring.
You know who else actually liked that game a couple years ago when it came out? That's the game. It's like 2 years old, I think.
No, I'm talking about the original Call.
Oh yeah.
Like 2001.
Because they made a spin-off like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was called
when we first started off the show.
Red Dead Redemption or some shit like that.
No. There was a spin-off. It was Call of Juarez. Call of Juarez.
Well, there was a Call of Juarez,
and it was like, and then it said it had like a subtitle, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Gunslinger, you mean?
There you go. Good man. Because Warren was a big fan of that. He said that it was actually surprisingly a good game.
Call of Juarez Gunslinger actually came out when Borderlands came out, so that's why that didn't get much hype either.
Yeah, both of the games were released.
Borderlands and Call of Juarez came out at the same time, the Gunslinger one, and that's why it just didn't take, because of course this is another game that was released at a terrible time.
Timing is
everything, dude, in gaming.
It's a tricky thing. I mean, if you just look at failures in the console wars, a lot of times they come out too fast or they come out too slow.
Right.
You gotta find that sweet spot.
I got one more for you, Yogi, and this is a guessing one for you. We'll see how good you are on your games. This game. Let me see. You weren't a PS. You're not a PlayStation player, are you?
Well, I mean, I might know.
The fifth entry on 360 and PS3. But this game came out around the same time as I want to say Soul Calibur and a Mortal Kombat. One of the Mortal Kombats came out, but it just never got hyped up.
It's a fighting game?
Yep. Which game is it?
The same as Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur.
Came out around the same time.
Dead or Alive?
Close. No, it's not close. No, it's not.
Tekken?
It's the same style as... Ooh, almost.
You talking about Tekken X Street Fighter?
Nope.
Oh.
Virtual Fighter 5.
Oh, Virtual Fighter. Yeah, that was my next guess.
Yeah, whatever.
No, seriously. I was in that same I was in that ballpark. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a game that, and this is something that I played very, very, because I had a PS2, guys. It was all, I had friends coming over wanting to, we're going to battle VF5 today, dude. Yeah, we're going to kick your ass.
I like Virtual Fighter. I have good memories with that.
It's really a game that had no hype whatsoever. Like, they just released it and did nothing, and then hoping people would buy it.
That's kind of what Sega does now, though. I mean, that's the Sega published game. Ever since Dreamcast,
Yeah.
They release games, they don't really put that much marketing muscle behind it. It's kind of like,
Which if they would, they'd have so much more.
I know. That's it.
I know that I said that was the last one, but I do have one more that I played a lot of that I don't know why it didn't catch on.
Well, before you share that one, one of Charlie wants to add into the hat. He's throwing into the hat Star Ocean, which is a series.
Star Ocean 5 too. That.
Well, yeah, they say that might be. They might talk about it more on E3. We might have to do an E3 predictions episode just for funsies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Star Ocean is a series that has lived kind of in the shadow of Final Fantasy. There's other ones like that. I mean, I think Shining Force is one that kind of got fizzled away because of Final Fantasy, overshadowed. Phantasy Star is still kind of hanging on. There's a few of them. I mean, Elder Scrolls is still hanging on, and Elder Scrolls has been in the shadow or side by side with Final Fantasy. There's actually, Elder Scrolls is a little different thing because they have a much richer history to draw from too. But anyway, what's the other one, Obi?
I'm gonna give you a little hint. This game is the last major non-WWE release from the boys and girls at THQ.
The last.
You guys think about it. The guys and gals at THQ, they make all the WWE games.
Yeah, the now defunct THQ.
The last, here it is again to everybody. The last major non-WWE release from the boys and girls at THQ. Fatal Blade should know this.
But it's a fighting game?
No, it's just a game. It's a game.
But it's not WWE. Well, they did Homefront as well. We were just talking about them earlier. What else did THQ have?
BFT's close.
Darksiders was that THQ as well?
Yes.
Oh wow, it was, man.
And I'm gonna give it to BFT because he's there. It's Darksiders 2. That everybody, the only people, like a lot of people bought it because it was made by THQ.
Yeah.
I mean, it was because they do all the WWE games every year.
Yep.
But nobody gave it a chance. I played the shit out of this game, dude.
Darksiders series is actually really good.
I mean, you're playing as the Grim Reaper. I mean, you're Death himself, and you're going around just picking shit up.
Darksiders makes you think of like Zelda meets Devil May Cry. In some ways, there's something else that it also reminds me of God of War in some of the parts.
Oh, dude, God of War.
Yeah, Darksiders is definitely one that everybody I know that played it loved it. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, THQ, man, that's another tragic story.
And here you go, guys. This is from all the information. www.gamesradar.com/most overlooked games.
We might have to revisit this topic.
We'll have to. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, so
yeah, we'll probably wrap it up early tonight because I need to get out and get some cool air. I mean, it was successful. It was Darksiders was successful. But it just wasn't enough to offset their bad business decisions.
Well, and we're not saying that Darksiders 1 and 2 was not successful. We're saying that Darksiders 1 and 2 was one of the most overlooked games.
It was still kind of
they were successful, but it was really overlooked due to the fact of the decisions that THQ made. We're not going to get into those decisions.
I would still qualify them as sleepers because most people did not have them on their radar. There wasn't this huge. There wasn't a lot of buzz. There wasn't a marketing push. But it became like a word of mouth thing. Like, yeah, I keep seeing you play this game, Darksiders. What's that about? Oh, I have to check that out. It was one of those things.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're gonna THQ. Of course, they're making the new. They made the new WWE 2015. But I think, honestly, and this last thing I'm gonna say, I really think that they're gonna come up with something big here in the next year. I really, besides the WWE game.
No, THQ's dead.
Hmm?
THQ's dead, bro. We reported it.
What? I'm not talking about THQ.
Oh, okay. I thought you said.
I'm talking about because. Never mind.
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat. I thought you said THQ could come with something else. I'm like, no, that'd be cool if they come back, but that has to happen.
No, I kind of wrote into the WWE because they make their own stuff now. Everything, with the WWE network and all that other shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they still have to have like a major publisher to distribute it and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. They distribute their own, dude. It's all. Dude, do you have any idea what they're doing right now with their distributing and their logistics?
WWE is publishing their own games now. Damn, I haven't played a wrestling game in a while. That's news to me. It's crazy.
They're expanding.
Do you think the WWE network is doing well?
Very well.
Really?
Very, very well.
So the last numbers I looked at was kind of sad. But I mean, I'm happy. Like I would hate to see wrestling die off. If it's like a part.
Never gonna die. And this is what I call it to everybody. If you guys like it, use it. Quote Obi 2015. Wrestling is the man's soap opera. The wrestling is where I want to go, and this is sometimes I want to do it, where I want to go to hear drama, but then I don't have to argue with it. I can go watch TV, I can watch Raw, I can watch SmackDown, I can watch the WWE Network, watch every show that they've ever done, and listen to that man drama. That's what I call it. That's what it is. I don't do it for the wrestling. That shit's fake. I already know that. I watch WWE for the hot chicks and man drama. That's it.
Fatal is challenging your call. He says that 2K publishes the WWE games.
Sure.
Yeah, well, doesn't really matter. But I'm glad to hear that they're doing well. Like, competition is a good thing. It's nice to have a wide variety of content and have options. The more content we have, the more choices we have, the better it is for everyone. Even if you're not interested in wrestling, it still impacts you because it's something. Wow, holy crap, there are a lot of freaking. Whoa, I was not ready for that. Advertisements that play audio. It's going to come up in the podcast. Heroes of the Storm. A lot of Heroes of the Storm ads right now, everywhere. Anywho. Obi, you ready to wrap this up? Oh.
Yeah, dude.
BFT wanted to make a point. He says Supernatural, man drama, Supernatural has that with people who can act. Yeah. And I do like Supernatural throws in the homoeroticism too.
Okay, anyway, HorsePLAY Live is everywhere you can listen to or download awesome podcasts, guys, including allgames.com. Please take a few minutes to thumb up, favorite, subscribe, or even just share. Even better, we love some comments and reviews. It's quick, it's easy, it really helps us out. Do it. Thanks to everyone who has been promoting our content. We love you. You guys like eye candy? We have video too. Please check us out. You guys can check us out at YouTube and Twitch, youtube.com/geekyantics, twitch.tv/geekyantics. Here on YouTube, here on Geeky Antics Network, in collaboration with the All Games Radio Network, we have tons of shows covering a wide spectrum of topics. We can't possibly plug everybody, so we're just going to put it this way. You guys go to geekyantics.net/scheduling. You guys can get any podcast you want. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, basically the weekends, our biggest podcasting and streaming days for now, guys. If you guys want to get in on that, go ahead and contact YogiZilla at geekyantics.net. You guys can, you guys want to be a streamer, a podcaster, broadcaster, we're always looking for some writers, everything. So we are looking for, we are looking for more podcast hosts, writers, broadcaster, streamers for the network. So let's connect and brainstorm together, guys. The more people brainstorming, the better ideas that come out. Yogi?
Yes.
Where can we find your sweet ass at?